Good morning, everybody. Let's look at our reading today. So, I'm going to pull up the parent letter because remember, we are following this as our pacing guide as we work through this month of May. So, just like yesterday, remember, we just finished Tuesday. So, today is Wednesday, May 6th, and we're going to be doing section 1, lesson 2 for reading, and we're going to be doing entry 1, but part 2 for the writing and language. So, once we get done with Wednesday, we're going to cross that out because that's another day done. So you guys are doing amazing. So let's pull up our reading. So today for reading, and just a heads up for you guys as well, if you're ever confused about where we are at, I'm going to flip in mine just to show you for today because it's only the second time. It actually gives you page numbers, so lesson 2, and it shows you pages 13 to 14, okay? So I know sometimes the headings maybe don't match up, but it's just going each and every day in order like this. So we did these irregular verbs yesterday, and then today we are going to be doing our mini lesson all about reading about time and sequence. So just a couple reviewing for you, just so to make sure you know. Remember, as a good reader, we're constantly looking for time and sequence words that help us understand the order of a story. Because when we're telling a story, whether we're writing it or whether we're reading it, we need to be looking for how things are in order. Now, this is especially true in nonfiction texts or like a historical text. If we're trying to learn about history, we want to know, when did things happen? What's the order of when that happened? So just a little bit of a review for you. Here's like an anchor chart that we've had in our classroom before. And just to look at it again, sequencing is putting things in order, and it's the order of events in a story. So here's some key words: next, then, finally, after, first. Here's some more clue words: before, eventually, the next day. These are the big words that if you see these, your brain needs to go, huh? Sequence. And writing, sometimes we call these transition words. So that is what our whole lesson is about today. We're going to be noticing things that happen in a historical context and sequence. So our task is that we're going to read the cartoon below, and we're going to ask ourselves two questions. What is happening? And how are these relates related? And related is a fancy word for connected, like a connection. How are these sequence events connected to each other? So let's go ahead and let's look at these 3 cartoons below. All right, first cartoon. First, sequence word right away. The Vikings sailed to North America. Next, they started a settlement. After a few difficult years, the Vikings gave up and returned home. So a couple things that are important here. First of all, these sequence words. First, I'm going to highlight them. First, you can underline them. Next, after. But this is a really important word here so that we can make sure we understand these context clues. What's a settlement? And I want you guys to look at the picture, because whenever we're not sure about unknown words, remember, good readers, when you do context clues, you are looking at the pictures, words around the word that you don't understand. So a settlement looks like, I can see some houses, a fence, look, they're building. So a settlement is they're trying to build a little village. They're trying to get an area where they can live. So they first go there, next they start a settlement, but then after a few difficult years, they gave up and they returned home. So is their home in North America? Nope. They returned back where they came from. Now, a couple things to keep in mind here when we're thinking about these particular sequence words. There's a lot of things that are missing, right? We don't know, why did they go back home? What made them give up? Did something bad happen here to make them go back home? Why did they come to North America? We don't know those answers in this particular cartoon. So as a good reader, we could try to find more information about this story. I want you guys to look at the next page, because this is what we're on. We're on page 13 and 14. it says read the cartoon again and notice the signal words that are used. Now fill the chart below by writing the events in the order in which they happened. So thank goodness we already highlighted, because now we know right where to find it. So first, what happened first? What did we see that happened first for these Vikings? You're going to write it down here. So if you don't remember, go back. Okay, they sailed to North America. So we can add this right here. First, I'll get my text box. I can type it right in there. First, the Vikings sailed to North America. And I could add a little bit. They sailed to North America. Now, where is North America? We live there, right? It's our continent. We live in the United States of America, which is in North America. Can you think about any other countries that are in North America? What's right above us? Canada. Canada's in North America. What's right below us? Mexico. Mexico is in North America. So we have Mexico, the United States of America, and then we have Canada. So the Vikings, they sailed to North America. So it could be any place in North America. I'll go ahead and give you some background. They were definitely more in like that Canada zone, a little bit more up north because of where they came from. All right, now your job is to figure out and to finish writing what did they do next, and then after a few years, what did the Vikings do? All right, that's all you guys have today. You need to make sure that you can look through some of these talking and academic words, but we've already used all of these context clues and words in our own writing, and we talk about these in class, and that's what you have today. So you have 2 more columns to finish. So you'll get done with those 2 columns, and then you'll start on the writing. So your writing today looks like this. So we just did our laundry story. Something goes badly wrong. And then you guys have the part 2 of this, and we're going to be reviewing adverbs. Now remember, an adverb tells something about a verb or an action. Lots of times it ends in an ly, and it really describes how or in what way did the runner or the person do something. So for example, the batter quickly ran to first base. I could have just put the batter ran to first base, but quickly describes how the batter ran. The batter didn't run slowly or they would have been out, right? They ran quickly. The umpire watched the runner closely. I could have just said the umpire watched the runner, but if they watch the runner closely, they're watching that runner. So I have something kind of fun. If we were together, I would for sure play this for you, but this is a Schoolhouse Rock video, and it's all about adverbs. It's not very long. It's kind of a silly song, but it helps you think about what an adverb is. It's old school, guys. This is what I watched when I was a kid, but hopefully you'll like it. I'm going to play it and we can watch it together.
Ready, son?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
Let's go.
1, 2.
Lolly, 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 get your adverbs here. Lolly, 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 got some adverbs here. Come on down to Lolly's, get the adverbs here. You're going to need if you write or read or even think about it. Lolly, 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 get your adverbs here. Got a lot of lolly jolly adverbs here. Anything you need and we can make it absolutely clear. An adverb is a word.
That's all it is, and there's a lot of them.
That modifies a verb.
Sometimes a verb, sometimes.
It modifies an adjective or else another adverb. And so you see, that is positively very, very necessary. Lolly, 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 get your adverbs here. Father, son, and lolly selling adverbs here. Got a lot of adverbs and we make it clear. So come to Lolly.
Hello, folks. This is Lolly Sr. saying we have every adverb in the book, so come on down and look.
Hello, folks. Lolly Jr. here. Suppose your house needs painting. How are you going to paint it?
How?
That's where the adverb comes in.
Neatly.
We can also give you a special intensifier so you can paint it very neatly or rather sloppily.
Rather sloppily.
Suppose you're going nut gathering. Your buddy wants to know where and when. Use an adverb and tell him.
Get your adverb, use it with an adjective that says much more. Anything described can be described some more.
Very smart.
Anything you'd ever need is in the store. And so you choose very carefully every word you use. Use it with a verb, it tells us how you did. Where it happened, where you're going, where you've been. Use it with another adverb as the end, and even more. How, where, or when, condition or reason. These questions are answered when you use an adverb.
Come and get it,
Lolly, 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 get your adverbs here. Quickly, quickly, quickly get those adverbs here. Slowly, surely, really learn your adverbs here. You're going to need them if you read them, if you write or talk or think about them, Lolly.
If it's an adverb, we have it at Lolly's. Bring along.
All right, so that's kind of a fun little video. You might be thinking, Mrs. Bush, I don't like this. That's okay. But all about adverbs. Get your adverbs here. They tell you how you do something. They can modify adjectives. They can modify verbs. Now for this one today, you're going to be looking at, most of these are modifying the verbs, which is pretty awesome. It goes a lot quicker. Quickly modifies the verb ran. Adverb closely describes the verb watch. So let's go ahead and let's look at these together. Jasmine nervously stood at home plate. So we have to underline the adverb and then draw an arrow from the adverb to the verb it tells about. So what I want you to do is let's underline the adverb. So nervously describes what? What verb? She nervously stood. Draw an arrow, nervously stood. Ooh, that's a fun arrow. Okay. Her family shouted her name loudly. What did they shout loudly? They shouted. How did they shout? They shouted. Oh, I wish that bent a little bit. I don't know if I can get it to bend. There we go. Let's try number 3. She carefully rested the bat against her shoulder. Carefully rested. Oh no, that one doesn't have my top. The pitcher gripped the ball tightly, adverb. What did they do tightly? They gripped. Gripped means like you hold something really, really tight. Jasmine hit the ball sharply. What did she do sharply? She hit. See how I'm always asking, what did she do sharply? A player tried to catch the ball, but accidentally dropped it. What did they do accidentally? Accidentally dropped. There was an accident. Jasmine easily slid into home base. Easily did what? Easily slid. And the last one, her whole team cheered wildly. What did they do wildly? They cheered. Look how I did that. My arrows are kind of fun there. Now, what you're going to do is you are going to do numbers 1 through 5 by yourself reviewing adverbs. This is all you have for writing today. You have your 2 reading columns. Good luck, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.